Hello and welcome. My name is Xandierious, and today I'm bringing you a very special mukbang because it is the day before my birthday. We're going to start out this lovely little feast with some breakfast cake, also commonly referred to as a donut. Here is my donut of choice. It is a regular ring topped with chocolate icing and sprinkled with some coconut. Oh, that smells really good. Now I'm going to give this guy a little bite, just a little nibble. I'd rate it a 9 out of 10. It'd probably get full points if the coconut wasn't a little dry. But that's alright. I got something to wash that down with. I bought an Elysian Dragon's Tooth Stout, and here comes what could possibly be the best part. Ooh, that was a pretty decent cap pop. Now let's pour this into my glass that I have provided right here. The key is to pour at an angle so you don't get too much foam till the end. Unless you like foam. Oh, there it goes. I'd say that turned out pretty picture perfect. Let's have a taste. It's a bit more hoppy than I was expecting, but it's still pretty good. Wow, where are my manners? Now that I've had my proper beverage, it's time to finish this beast. Moving on from the breakfast cake, we have something a bit more hearty. We have some little Smokies, which are just tiny hot dogs that, well, they're not representative of anything. Please don't think that. We're going to insert the knife right here, like so. Just drag that knife across. Yeah, that's what happens when you think that this is to scale, to size. These are just small hot dogs, small little weenies. Nothing else is small, I assure you. Now that I have my little Smokies, let's complement that flavor with this sack of nuts. I chose the almond variant this time. Almonds are one of my favorite. Just gotta get a handful of nuts. Ooh, that's a good sound. We'll add those to the plate and move on to our third item. I have this smoked Gouda cheese. Some would say that this is a Gouda cheese, and I would say that's a bad pun. Just gotta remove the protective wrapping. We wouldn't want our cheese unprotected now, would we? And then we'll just cut a nice little cheese wedge. You probably can't hear it because the knife is going through so smooth. Oh, just dicing it up. Just like anyone who would compare a little Smoky to any of my body parts, for example. Alright, well, this looks like quite a feast. I'm excited to dig in. Gotta smoke down a couple of these weenies. Oh, they just slide right down. I think this is as good as a time as ever to thank you all for watching and supporting the content that I make. Let's move on to some of these nuts. Almonds are one of my favorite. I like splitting them in half with my teeth. One might say that's my favorite way to bust a nut. And they would be wrong. The nuts complement the wiener quite well. Let's get some creamy, cheesy goodness in on the action. So smoky and delicious. Well, from here we haven't had any vegetables yet, which is why I've gotten these celery sticks. I'm gonna make a childhood classic of ants on the log. Alright, now let's break off a stalk. I bet this will have a very satisfying tearing sound. Oh, that's pretty good. Now we just need to trim this up just a little bit. Just to chop off the tips. And of course, how could we have ants on a log without our peanut butter? Gotta have the log somehow. I am now applying the peanut butter to the log. The peanut butter kind of got everywhere, but that's alright. You have to embrace life's imperfections. And here we have one ants on a log without the ants. Because no one wants ants at their picnic. I'm not afraid or ashamed or embarrassed by anything I've done. Our next meal is a tradition. If you didn't know, Sir Edward Eisenhower birthday, the man who indeed invented a birthday, created a tradition on birthdays that you eat a noodle with cheese and some sort of meat. Today, I have chosen the Kraft macaroni and cheese single-serve microwavable mac and cheese bowl. And to accompany this endeavor, I got a chicken of the sea, which in fact is not chicken but tuna. And together, they shall make sweet love. So without further ado, let's get this started. Now you need to remove the cheese packet before microwaving this bad boy, or else you might end the world. I'm gonna prepare it the way any traditional person would. I'm not gonna get fancy this time. It seems like my mac and cheese has finished cooking, and here we have the finished result. And the directions say it's very important not to drain the noodles. Now I'm gonna take the cheese sauce and stir that in. Ooh, I like cheese. Just a little taste. I'm so drunk it doesn't even matter. Speaking of drunk, I need to refill. This one's gonna have a lot of foam, but that's alright. I like foam. Well, maybe not that much foam, but you know, bottoms up, I guess. Alright, so it's time to stir this bad boy to get that cheese all evenly distributed. We want a perfect coating over our noodles, don't we? Next, we'll open our can of tuna fish. Be very careful not to spill the water. It might make a mess. I went and drained the chicken of the sea, and now we're just left with the raw meat. Let's add it to our mac and cheese and stir it in. Ooh, here we go. Smells like fish and cheese. Let's stir this up. Now this is still pretty hot, and I've learned my lesson from last time. I'm gonna let this cool and kind of move on to something else. They say an apple a day makes the birthday gay. They said that back in the day where gay meant happy. But I'll leave it up for interpretation. First, we need to remove this sticker. Ooh, that was pretty good. When I was a kid, I used to eat a ring around the apple, right through the center. Let's see if I can still do that. It seems I've bitten off more than I can chew. I have a nice little ring around my apple. Never mind the first bite. That was a pretty good apple. I've stripped it of its flesh. And now I am done. Back to the mac and cheese. It's still pretty moist, as you can tell. And I think it's about time we take a bite. Now, I don't remember at this point if I said it, but tomorrow's my birthday, April the 15th, A very iconic day, if you all remember. You're thinking April 15th. Xander. That's the day the Titanic finished sinking. And you would be right. Clearly, there's nothing else associated with April the 15th, other than my birthday, of course. Well, I polished that off in a hurry. While we're on the topic of fish, I have a very special surprise. Chicken of the Sea also makes sardines, and I thought these would be rather tasty. Oh, I just spilled sardine juice all over my junk. That's alright, though. We'll continue peeling back this lovely can of sardines. Oh, isn't that nice? These sardines are now fully drained. Luckily, not the rest of the way on my junk. Now, I think it's only appropriate, and not only appropriate, but also tradition by the famous Jacques Rousseau, who explored the depths, to name your sardine before eating them. So, Susan, I'd like you to know you're about to meet your ultimate demise. They still have their spinal cord. And it pretty much just dissolves in your mouth. Well, it seems I'm rather drunk right now. What am I doing again? I must have blacked out. Oh, I can't stop laughing. It seems like I've opened a can of the giggles instead of sardines. I'm gonna call you Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I'm sorry for what's about to transpire. Jeremiah tried to get away, but to no avail. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. My birthday cake. Or more appropriately, a cupcake. So let's open this bad boy up. Now I've chosen the red velvet variant because I really like red velvet. And I think this cupcake's gonna be quite good. Happy birthday to me. I'm 26 this year. Just gonna peel back the covering real quick. Cheers to me and my health. Alright, without further ado, this is the birthday mukbang. Now, what birthday feast wouldn't be complete without opening a gift? It seems Carmela has left something for me. You could tell it's my wife because it's wrapped in some heart birthday wrapping paper. I'm very excited. I wonder what it could be. You gotta tear it like your hopes and dreams have been teared away from you. Canned beets. For the love of God and all things holy, why would she get me this? Why? This time I didn't wait for the screams of 1,000 children. I know they're in there somewhere. It's just time we let them out, okay? And it's time we stop making canned beets. Alright, well, here goes nothing. Or everything. It seems like I'm covered in all sorts of juices this episode. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I make videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I'd appreciate it if you shared my favorite, or not mine, but your favorite video of mine to a friend. Subscribe if you haven't, like for every canned beet that I eat, and as always, I'll see you on the flip side.